What's up? We're going to be going over the 3 things that you need to know about projecting and expressing masculine energy as a man, right? And this is very important because we're born in a day and age that discourages men from being masculine. We're born into a world that shames men for being masculine, that tells them it's wrong, that tells them it's unhealthy, that tells them it's negative or toxic or whatever it is. So you have more negative connotations linked to that state of masculinity more so than you do positive connotations and positive understandings of it. But I want you to know that as a man, you are built to be masculine. It doesn't mean that everyone has to if you don't want to or whatever, but for the majority, for the average man, you are designed in such a way to be the human expression of the masculine energy. And it's very necessary and it's very positive and is very empowering to everyone involved, to you, to women, to children, and the community. Now, as I said, we're in a day and age that shames it and discourages it. So it's only natural that you're going to have trouble expressing this energy and that you need to do things like this in terms of learning about it. Because before you came into this world, the context of this environment is set up to make it difficult for you to be a man, to make it difficult for you to express masculine behaviors without being shamed or without doing it in the right way and so on. One of the first things you need to understand before we go into the 3 points is that masculinity is different to femininity. We are not the same. And encoded in certain behaviors is the components of masculine energy or feminine energy, to be fair, right? Like some behaviors that you do can be coming from a masculine place and different behaviors are coming from a feminine place. And we want to understand what are the masculine behaviors, right? Because then we are in tune with the expression of masculine energy. So let's get into this, right? So the first point is you need to stop talking, thinking, and doing things in the ways that women do it, right? So you need to it's kind of going on with what I said before. You are not the same as a woman. So it only makes sense that you're not going to do things in the way that women do it, right? And this could mean verbally. This could mean the way you go about things, the way you perceive and think things. It's different. If we were the same, then yeah, we'd think about it the same, but we're literally designed different. So of course, it makes sense that when a woman's in a certain situation, let's say, she's going to react differently to a man, and it's okay. But when you do it, it's not okay, actually, right? Because then we are not doing our part in terms of having masculinity and femininity balanced. So let me give you an example, right? There are certain, let's say it's a trend to talk or use a certain slogan or phrase, right? So let's say a certain slogan or phrase being said at the moment is "it's given," right? And at the time of this video, it will change if this is watched in a year or 2 years. But at the time of this recording, there's a phrase that women use when they're describing what they think someone is being like or what they think someone is like. So they'll say "it's given." So let's say they're watching a video of a man and he's being a hater, for example, but it doesn't appear like he's being a hater. He's like being sly about it. He's sneak dissing or something. A woman might say "it's given coward," or it's given it's given fair to be direct, or whatever it is, right? We don't need to specifically say, but that statement is said by a woman at the moment. As a man, you do not talk like that. You don't say those words. Even the word "it's given this" has a little bit of a sarcastic tone, which is another good example, actually. Women communicate in a way, the feminine energy is an indirect energy. So women are very likely to be sarcastic and do little sneak disses themselves, right? As a man, you don't do that, because as a man, you're direct unless you're intentionally doing it for some sort of intelligent purpose. But generally, you are not going to sneak diss and be passive aggressive like women do. You have to cut out all of these feminine habits that you have in order to obviously be the expression of masculine energy, because right now that's expressing feminine energy. So don't hop on any trends. Realize that men and women are different, and you want to align your behaviors with the components of masculine energy. If you want a better understanding of the components of masculine energy, there's a video series that I've done explaining masculine and feminine energy, and you can go to that and watch that and get a better understanding of what I mean. Now, the second thing, so the first thing is make the difference between your behavior and how women behave. The second is we want to change your lifestyle and your interactions in your daily life. So again, we are trying to be literally the components of masculine energy. We are trying to be the human version of it. We're trying to represent those qualities through our actions. So let me give you an example. Masculine energy, one of the components of it is its structure. So when you think about structure, a man having routine and planning his week and sticking to doing what he says is him being the structure. And this is what I mean when I say you're literally being those qualities of the masculine energy through your behavior. Being disciplined in your lifestyle is an example of you sticking to structure. So this is why it's important when we say no matter how you feel, it actually doesn't matter. You're still going to do the same thing. I wrote about in my first ever book, The Custom Model Mind. Custom Model taught Mike Tyson that, look, discipline is doing what you hate to do, but you do it like you love it. And that goes down to the structure of the masculine energy. It doesn't matter how you feel, you're still going to do the exact same thing, and you're going to do it like you love it because you must do it. And when it comes to changing your lifestyle, it is recommended that you change your environment and who you're hanging around with. So it's better if you're hanging around with guys that are in their masculine energy themselves, because then you're naturally going to pick up those behaviors. Secondly, if you are hanging out with guys that don't express masculine energy, which is fine because you might, like them as a person, there still should be an understanding that you are different to them, that you do not conduct yourself in the same way that they do, because their feminine energy will rub off on you unless you make the distinction between you and them. And if they kind of, like, what will happen is when you be in your masculine energy, these people, especially if you're changing and growing, there's a chance they might try to shame you and discourage you and go, oh, what's that about, kind of thing. You can go through that transitionary period and change and still be friends with them. But if it really gets you down and holds you back, then you might have to reconsider if you want to be friends with them. What else? Okay, so also in terms of lifestyle, obviously working out and all of that stuff is very important. When you work out, it boosts your testosterone. Working on money is an expression of ambition, and masculine energy is an adventurous energy that goes out. That's why men have always went out to conquer the world. Now, the last one I'll go on, very important, last but not least, is that you want to work on having an assertive attitude as a man. You want to be very confident about your standards, about who you are, what you stand for, what you believe in, what you like and what you dislike. This is about being bold about who you are, working on bravery, and so on. So when it comes to interacting with women, especially, they have a good eye at this, actually. Women can tell when you believe something, but you ignore it to please them, or you ignore it to please anyone, or you just go with what society says. They can literally feel it. And it's interesting because, think about it, if a woman is encoded with the ability to notice when you are not in your masculine, then it actually also means the same for you. You know when you are not being in your masculine, you know when you are not being assertive, or you are not going with what you truly feel or you truly want, and you're just letting people get away with it or walk all over you or do something that you don't want to do. You can feel it. So the same way she has a radar, you have that same radar and signal within yourself. And when you feel it, do not deny it. I certainly feel this. I've never actually heard many men speak about this actually, in terms of feeling it, but I'm very sure that every man has that radar in him when he can feel, okay, this is an unmanly thing to do. Yeah, so you want to work on being brave too. So put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Again, this goes down to even if you don't like it, you still do it, because you're building that bravery. And there's gonna come a time where courage is no longer courage, it's just who you are. So let's say public speaking, for example, that's a very good one for you to work on. I've had to do the same thing. That's why I have the ability like this to ramble on for 10 minutes, because if you actually checked in with me 5 years ago, I wouldn't be able to speak like this, but I kept working on it, which helps me verbally manifest the reality that I want to, which helps me be bold in who I am. So yeah, you want to work on things that are uncomfortable for you and be disciplined with that. The last aspect of this is that you want to work on honesty. In my opinion, this is perhaps one of the most important things when it comes to masculine energy and manhood. You cannot be that guy if you have to lie, and you don't want to deny who you are. So you want to work on being honest with women, honest with yourself, honest with the people around you. Honestly, right? So yeah, work on your honesty. If you want to, read more about this, check out the book that I have. At the time of this, it's free, maybe not by the time you watch this, but it's called The Principles of Manhood. Download that book. I go through the 10 points of manhood, the 10 principles, and it's going to help you out a lot. But for now, I want you to comment down below on one thing that you want to work on in this area, one thing that you're going to get down. Is it going to be, changing your lifestyle? Is it going to be stop the feminine habits that you might have? Is it going to be working on your assertive attitude? And in future videos, we're obviously going to go deeper into this, but I don't want it to be too long, so we stop now. So comment down below, let me know, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.